So, you love frugal living and you need to declutter, but you're all on your own and you don't have anyone around to help you? Well, I got you. Let's declutter together. Welcome, I'm Amy, and here at the Frugal Diaries, I give you tips and tools for frugal living. And if you'd like to declutter, but you're all on your own, I'd love it if you would come along with me. I've got some decluttering to do. And first of all, we're gonna go check in with Goldie. As you can see, Goldie has absolutely nothing to say about decluttering. I guess the only thing that she would say is, if you're gonna declutter, make sure you leave room in your cabinets after decluttering for more treats for me. So that's Goldie's last word on decluttering. And the other preparatory thing that you need to do is make sure you're fueled up. So I'm gonna make some coffee and then we're gonna declutter together. And while I'm making my coffee, if you did not watch part 1 of this video yet, I'm gonna link it above. I want you to go and watch it because it's all about how to think about frugal living for one person. And today, as we declutter together, we're gonna talk about all 5 of those tips that I talked about in last week's video. Don't worry, there's plenty of review, and even though I'm a teacher, there's no exam. It's just life. So let's make some coffee and let's do this. By the way, this is my current favorite coffee, drinking decaf these days for my blood pressure, and I love this one from Target. Cheers! All right, now that we are sufficiently fortified with either decaf or caffeine, however you choose to drink your coffee or your tea or whatever it is that you're drinking, it's time to get started. And if you're decluttering a space that you have not decluttered for a while, you may feel like it's an exercise in archaeology as much as anything. And this gets to our first point, which is the context. Understand the context in which you're decluttering. I want to show you exactly what I mean here by going through my lower cabinets of my kitchen so that you can see what I mean when I talk about know the context in which you are decluttering. And you could apply this to anything in your frugal life. Let's look at this. So here's one of the cabinets that I'm going to be decluttering today. And you can see that there are layers and layers of things that I've collected over the years. And what you see here is layers of archaeology. The context that I live in is that I raised children, and what you see back here and back in the deeper recesses of these cabinets here, and even more frighteningly in these ones here where I can't actually see all the way to the back to see what's going on here, what you see is layers of living with children of different ages, different needs, different family needs. And these lower cabinets reflect the space that we need to declutter. These reflect the last 15 years of my life. And that's my context. Specifically, my context is that I am decluttering because I am downsizing after having raised children. And so I have so many things that I saved over the years because I was frugal. Now I don't need them. They're taking up space and they're keeping me from moving forward in my life. So it's time to declutter. So here we are with the first round all cleared out. Come over to the table here and you can see what I've got. I'm not ready to sort through this just yet, but this is what came out of that cabinet. You'll notice that I did not take out the vinegar and oil because I use those. This is just where I store them, and so I reorganized them and found some red wine vinegar that I didn't remember that I had. Now, as we're working through this, clearing out what you're going to declutter and laying it out so you can see what you have, this is where we come to number 2, which is your mindset. Mindset can be a tough one because it asks us to look inside and think to yourself, how do I feel about this? What do I think about this? I know that my context is that I am decluttering to get rid of 15 years worth of stuff that I don't need anymore. How do I feel about it? Decidedly mixed, I have to say. I am so proud of my grown-up kids. I am so pleased that I get to downsize and not just keep things around just because I might need them for the kids. But I'm so sad too. This is a hard thing. This is a hello to my new life and a goodbye to my old life. And that's my mindset right now, is I'm in a very mixed place. It's not bad, it's good. And you may be in a place where you need to downsize or you need to declutter to get rid of something out of your old life that was painful and it may be hard to look at. Or it may be that you need to say goodbye to something that you loved, and that may be hard too, but it doesn't serve you anymore, so you have to get rid of it. That's your mindset. Don't let it stop you, but instead let it launch you into successful decluttering. So let's keep going. Now, as I've pulled out everything from this lower cabinet here, you can see that I've left my baking pans that I know I'm going to use, and although it doesn't look like much down there. I have wiped it clean. But this is where I start to really feel the emotions of the things that we did, making brownies in a heart pan for Valentine's Day. This is my bread pan that I will keep, of course. Learning how to use a hand mixer. Trying out baking pies. Some of these things I'll keep, and some of these things are just memories of things that we did before that I had forgotten we had. This was way in the back and I don't even remember when I used it, but I know it must have been significant because I kept it. And these things all have memories. And most of them need to go because I haven't used them. And really, if you have something that you haven't used in over a year and it's not holiday themed, you know, one of those once a year things that you can count on using every year, it's probably okay to let it go. My mindset around that is, oh, sad, but also happy. Let it go. You know the song, sing along. And I think it's okay to say goodbye to the things that we once loved and also to the things that once caused us pain. And I think it's okay to be both optimistic and a little sad about that. Talk to me below about what is your mindset around decluttering, and I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I believe I now have all of my cabinets empty. Let's see, let's take the tour. You saw this one already. Look how spacious that is with nothing in there. I'm looking forward to filling it with things that I want to keep. Over here is this dank little dark corner, but that's all clean too. This is the area that I was the most scared to declutter, and it turned out that I was right. I found some things that I didn't know I had. I don't know how long I've had this. It was sitting back in the back and I have no recollection of ever using it or being aware it was there. That's a little scary. It's time for another sip of coffee. Cheers to you again. And another tip, which is to identify your goals. Now, I have already thought about this before I started pulling things out of the cabinets and, you know, putting them everywhere. But my goal is to divide everything into 3 piles. One is things that I want to keep. I'm not getting rid of absolutely everything, not by a long shot. The other is to determine what is not going to be useful for anybody and to just throw that away. And then the third one is to determine what I'm going to donate. Now, I know that some of you, when you declutter, you like to sell your items, and I would love it if you are a person who sells your items upon decluttering to put your recommendations for how to do that down below in the comments. I don't sell things from my home, so I don't have any expertise on it. So if you are an expert at that, we need to learn from you. My goal is to look at every single item that I've pulled out of these cabinets and to ask myself, am I going to keep it? Am I going to donate it? Or is it just trash? So let's see where I end up. And here we are. All of these items I use on a regular basis. I can now see them. I can reach them. There's no mystery. I'm not worried about anything biting me when I reach into that lower cabinet. That's great. All right, in the category of hidden gems, I've just discovered something that I gotta show you. Looky here. I didn't know what this was for. It's for this. Inside, look at that. You can put the cord and you can put the different beaters, and there's a little whisk down there. That's a thing of beauty. I don't know why I didn't ever know that I had that, but it's perfect. So in decluttering, I've discovered something that makes me feel like I just bought a new thing that's gonna make my life really good. So there's another benefit. That wasn't one of my goals, but I'm gonna add to it. Improve the quality of your life. Looky, I've decided to give it a home next to the mixing bowls and right underneath all of the oils. So now when we go to mix up something, there it'll be, a little hand mixer. I'm so excited. Now we come to our next tip, which is strategies. Identify how you're going to get to your goals. Now my goal was to determine if I wanted to keep something, donate it, or throw it away. But that doesn't really tell me how I'm going to get there. And you saw how I got there. My strategy was to pull everything out of the cabinets, lay it out, look at it, and individually, item by item, decide, is it a keep, a donate, or a throw away? It was that straightforward, and so goals and strategies kind of mixed together. Let me show you where my strategies took me to get towards my goals. First of all, the trash. This is where I determined things that were too rusted or corroded to be safe, and I didn't want to donate them because I didn't want to poison other people either. Here is a small recycle the jars pile, and the rest of this is going to be donated, including my beloved crock pot, which I have had for, gosh, I don't know, 15 years? And I used it, I lived and died by that crock pot, and I haven't used it for a while, and it needs to go. Same thing with this toaster oven. It's been totally replaced in our affections by the air fryer, and it's not coming back. And then these old things that you already saw. It's quite a nice pile of things that other people can use and love, and that can be recycled for better use. Now you've already seen this cabinet, but look at that beautiful hand mixer. I am so excited about that. I feel like Christmas just came. Notice that my countertops are clear because part of my strategy has been to, in this case, not try to make things too much worse for too long. Now there's plenty of stuff down here, but I use it. I use those baking trays, I use the rack, use both of those pans. The food processor doesn't get daily use, but when I need a food processor, I really need one. We have the tortilla press and the mini waffle maker that get occasional and fun use, and a couple of fun baking things. And then in the formerly dark, dank cabinet, we have practical things like my cast iron and the good old electric skillet, without which no 1970s child feels her kitchen is complete. So now, when I look through my lower cabinets, I know what's there. I know how I'm gonna use it, and I know everything is clean. And you really can't beat that. So here we are, just past Valentine's Day, and ready to declutter some things. And you know what? It's gonna be great. I have already sorted through my things, and if you're doing this along with me, you have already sorted through at least some of your things, and you're ready to go on to the next step. And the next step is think of some tips, small things that you can use. Think of these as like mini strategies that lead you to your goals. My first tip is one that I didn't even call a tip, but it's to make sure you got some coffee or something lovely to drink while you're doing this. You want to treat yourself a little bit while you're doing a big project. It's so good. Another tip is that while you're decluttering, while you're going through all of your strategies, take breaks like I'm doing right here. I'm sitting and chatting with you, and in a minute, I will feel good enough to get up and load all of these things that I'm looking at here on this table into my car and drive down to the donation center, and I'm going to take you along. And the next tip is, even if you don't have anybody there with you and you're just doing it all by yourself, think of somebody you can celebrate with. You can celebrate with me. Tell me down in the comments, what have you decluttered recently? What are you decluttering while you're watching this? Or what are you going to declutter very soon? And let's celebrate together the wins that we have. Let's not do this all alone, even if we are doing it all alone. Let's go. All right, I took a little break. That's one of the tips I give you. And then I loaded things up systematically, hopefully so that they don't break on the way to the dump, which is also the donation center. That's another tip. Batch your errands. So you can see that I've got some trash back there that I'm going to take, and also some recycling and the donated items. And these things here because I want to at least be able to see them, and more glass things here. Let's do this. Off the donation center, and we can go to a good home. Lots of things here. Anything you need? What a filing cabinet. Oh, a pink chair. Tiles. Anybody want to redo their bathroom flooring? As we get ready to head home from our day of decluttering together, I want to leave you with a wonderful quote from author John Shar, who said this: "The future is not someplace we are going, but when we are creating. The paths are not to be found, but made. And the activity of making them changes both the maker and the destination." If you've enjoyed this decluttering journey today, I hope that you'll give this video a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified first of new videos. I'd love to see you here again. But wherever you are on your frugal living journey, take the next step, whatever that next step is for you, and know that you are not alone, and I am so proud of you. Live frugally, change your life, and together we will change the world. Can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.